So welcome back. On today's video, we're actually gonna be driving up to High Knob. I know you all have actually ridden up there with me quite a bit, but today I want to drive up there and to discuss some of the trails in the area in Southwest Virginia and Northeast Tennessee that are a 3 or below on ONX. So if you've recently gotten into off-roading, I know it's spring right now, it's actually going into summer. So it's that time of year that some people are actually wanting to get out and adventure. And if you live in the area, you might want an idea of what are some good trails to ride if you're just kind of getting into this. If you have a stock clearance 4x4, or maybe just slightly lifted, you might want just some ideas. So anyways, we'll discuss 10, maybe less, 3 or below trails that I would recommend that are rather scenic, that are actually nice, that you can actually get to rather easy without tearing your vehicle up. If that's just something you want to do, just kind of have a little bit of fun, just get your feet wet more or less, and just enjoy yourself. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's head up to High Knob. It's not even on ONX, but I will put the GPS coordinates of this trail, of this Forest Service Road. I think it's Forest Service Road 619. I would rate it maybe a 1 on a day like today, definitely a 1. If it's muddy, maybe a 2. It's kind of rutted out, but it's not horrible. Snowy, probably still a 2 if you have good tires. But let's go ahead and get on up to the trail. What better place to actually talk about trails than on a trail? This is actually the High Knob trail that I spoke about as we came up. So it's about 3 or 4 miles long. It's about a 2, in my opinion, 1 or a 2. Now ONX does not rate this trail. It's just a Forest Service Road. I think it's 619. It starts out in Scott County, Virginia, ends up in Wise County, Virginia. We are about in the Scott County side right now. We're getting ready to go in the Wise County side. This is just one of the pull-offs. This is actually called the Thunderstruck area. If you keep on going, there's some horse trails and some ATV trails just right behind me. In the winter months, it's got some really nice overlooks. You can see quite a few mountains. You might see that in the video I post here in just a minute as we come on up. But in the winter time, it's a little bit more challenging. It's a little bit steep. I did actually have to put it in 4x4, four-wheel drive coming up, just because they have some loose gravels. I am kind of concerned that they're going to be paving this soon, just because I think they might be working on putting some cabins on up this road. I'm not really for certain. So this is just one of the trails. If you're getting into off-roading, this is a really good one to drive. Now, there are some more trails in the Southwest Virginia region. This is just one of them. Again, this is not on ONX, it's just a Forest Service Road. So keeping on the themes of talking about Forest Service Roads, we can talk about the Birch Knob Forest Service Road over in Dickinson County, Virginia. Actually, I'm very familiar with that area. That's where I grew up at. It's around 3 or 4 miles long. To me, it's about a 2. Again, it's not rated on ONX. Beautiful area during the fall, winter months. It does close, I think, sometime in December. It doesn't reopen until March. It's seasonal. There's some good camping spots in the area, but again, if you're just kind of getting into off-roading, and honestly, probably a higher passenger car such as a Subaru, maybe some all-wheel drive vehicles can make it there. It is getting kind of rutted out as it gets a little bit worn. They were trying to work on trying to make it a little bit more accessible. There was talks for a while about them paving it, but I don't think that's going to happen. But it is a really pretty area, especially at the top. Fall time, gorgeous, gorgeous views. And again, as I go throughout this video, I'm gonna put some clips of the area just so you can see what it looks like. This area I visited very many times during the fall, so that's what I'm gonna include right now. Another one that was added just recently to the Southwest Virginia region is the Clinch Mountain Fire Tower Trail. It's rated a 2 out of 10, but honestly, it's just a gravel road. It's not really necessarily even as bad as the High Knob trail that we're on currently. It's like I said, it's rated as a 2 out of 10. It does take you to a hiking trail. It takes you up to the Mendota Fire Tower. Now they recently opened the gates up to the fire tower where you can, it's a one in and out, where you can actually probably take maybe a Jeep. You can take probably, I've been meaning to take the truck up there. I think they have rated that one maybe a 4 or 5. I'd have to look back and see. It's not a very far hike. I think it might be a mile or two on the trail, maybe just a mile. It is quite a bit, it's quite rutted out going up that trail, but I haven't had any experience. I have walked it. It's very, very steep. There is some off-camber sections. So if you plan on going up to the fire tower, actually taking your vehicle, keep in mind, the gravel road up to that trail is, you know, again, it's probably a 1, but now if you're taking a vehicle up to the tower, it's probably about a 5. So one that we've recently visited has actually been Caney Creek over in Cove, Virginia. It's actually a longer trail. It's about 10.1 miles. It's an awesome trail, probably one of the more fun trails I've actually ridden, because there's, I think, right at 10 or 11 river crossings. It's rated a 3 out of 10. There is some possibilities if you take the route that's mapped currently that you'll get some pinstriping. It gets pretty tight. Now, if it rains quite a bit the week before or whenever you're going, keep in mind that water crossings can get pretty high. So it might be a 4 out of 10 or a 5 out of 10, depending on how high your vehicle is. Stock clearance, you know, 4x4 should be fine. You might need a higher clearance, honestly, depending on how much rain is there. Beautiful views, nice forest roads, not very rutted. Highly recommended. A very, very good trail for beginners, especially if it hasn't rained. If you haven't went through done any water foraging, you like to, it's an awesome experience. So switching gears a little bit, we're going to be talking about Northeast Tennessee. There is Flatwoods Road. It's very popular, especially for beginners, because it's very much like a gravel road. It's about 6.8 miles long, Flatwoods Road is, and there's also Old Flatwoods Road. It's an offshoot. It's about 3.8 miles. All the area there has some offshoot trails. They're not rated. They aren't on ONX. I think it's rated a 2 out of 10 if I'm not mistaken. Beautiful area. I will be honest, it is one area that has some camping areas, but there is some trash at times. There are talks, I think, about cleanups that happen on a pretty regular basis. So again, if you're going to any of these trails, make sure you don't leave any trace behind. Always try to pick up after yourself if you're on any trails, especially if you're beginning. Just make sure, especially camping, that you're just not leaving any trace behind on anything. But again, Old Flatwoods Road, very good for beginners. It's near Bristol, Tennessee. It connects with Shady Valley, Tennessee, in that area. There's also a lake in the area if you want to just see some beautiful views. Overlooks, that area is a good one to visit. Bumpass Cove, recently posted a video from this area. It's rated a 2 out of 10. I went when it was really muddy. Even when it's muddy, I would say it's still a 2 out of 10, very good for beginners. It does connect to Rich Mountain, which is rated a 3 out of 10 depending on the weather conditions. Now that area, I would probably rate a 4 or 5 out of 10 depending on the weather conditions. Again, I went when it was muddy, and again, probably more so a 4 than a 5. Now that one I would rate, you actually need something a little bit higher on Rich Mountain, but now Bumpass Cove, stock clearance 4x4 should be absolutely fine. I kept it in 2-wheel drive the whole time. There isn't really much grade or steep grades or anything in that area. If you're just getting to off-roading, especially if it's just rain, it's really, really fun. A lot of mud and puddles, just a good time. It is a little bit bumpy. That's, again, Bumpass Cove. So just keep that in mind. Next one on the list is Irishman Branch. It's rated a 3. I think it's around 3.6 miles on ONX. Keep in mind on any trail when you're off-roading, the 3.6 or 2 miles or 1 mile, it does seem like quite a bit longer because you're going a lot slower. Irishman Branch is very, very beautiful during the fall. It's probably a really easy trail. It's a little bit tight in sections, especially when you get towards the end. It is, from my memory, and I will post some videos of these as we go, it is an in and out trail. It does dead end into a wide section, I believe, where you can actually camp if that's something you would like to do. But it's very, very pretty, especially during the fall. You can see the mountains in the background. But again, it's very, very gorgeous. The next one on the list is the beauty spot. It's right at 9.7 miles long, very much a gravel road. A lot of hiking trails if you're looking for hiking in the area. It is actually near Irwin and Unicoi, Tennessee area. Very, very beautiful overlooks, especially in the evening if you're actually just going to look at a sunset, looking for a sunset. Trails, again, very, very simple to get to, not a really bad area to off-road at. I mean, I don't know if you'd really consider off-roading because you can actually probably get up there in a car, but if you're just looking for some beautiful landscapes, very, very pretty area to go to. And the last one on the list is Buffalo Mountain Fire Tower. It's right at 4.7 miles. It's located in Johnson City, Tennessee. It's rated a 2 out of 10, but there is some offshoots that go up to probably about a 3 or 4 out of 10 that are one way in and one way out. They do get pretty narrow. Expect some pinstriping on the offshoots. They just recently added, I think, some of those offshoots onto ONX. I didn't check to see what they were rated, but you can go on there and check. Again, I do recommend, if you haven't got ONX yet, again, not sponsored, but you should download the app. I mean, again, it's very, very helpful. I use it all the time, just kind of hunting for, you know, dispersed camping spots, actually looking for new trails, because they've added just quite a few trails even since last year. But I hope this video has been helpful, especially if you're getting into just beginning off-roading in the Southwest Virginia, Northeast Tennessee area, or if you're just visiting the area. There's a lot of good off-roading opportunities out here. There's just a lot of gravel Forest Service roads. I mean, probably ones, you know, there's plenty of ones out there they've added that I haven't even rode yet. A lot of them are, you know, 1 or 2 out of 10s, but again, there's just a lot of beautiful area to get out and explore. So stay motivated, guys. Just get out there and enjoy yourself. It's spring, it's summer, beautiful time to just have a good time. Until next time, bye.